Hello, welcome. So this is part two of can you build a fully automated property deal analyzer, one that finds you deals wisely. My name is Toby Taleparambu. I've been writing software for 14 years now, everything from a small mobile apps to massive payment systems that move serious money. And for the last 9 months, I've been using AI to automate all different areas of my business. Today, I'm going to be using Claude to build a deal analyzer live for the first time right now. If you want all the files in the video, by the way, I'll put them in the description. So let's get started. If I share my screen, there we go. Okay, just make sure the windows and everything is closed because you don't want random noises coming in. I think at some point I will invest in a proper microphone. I did have one before, but the issue was that it just disappeared really. Not the microphone itself, but the actual connectors, so the thing to connect your laptop, just disappeared. Who knows? But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so as a summary from yesterday, so essentially, how far we got up to was that we've created like a product definition or product requirement document and an implementation guide, and then set up a folder structure, and we create like a Claude MD file as well, in order to obviously have some rules on how to interact with us. And then what we did was we using Fable 5, we ran through the requirements, and then it started building it. And obviously we gave it some guidance in and out, and we tested it for a bit. And what it came up with was essentially using Claude Desktop, which is controlled by a plugin on Chrome. It's using that in order to go into Rightmove, look through properties, and then go into the sold property section in order to find comparables, really. So, I mean, which is great, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's not exactly what we want because we're still kind of reliant on Claude. And I think in order to essentially package this up, it's better to have some sort of plugin that you can download yourself or plug that into Chrome, and then it'll do the work for you, really. So yeah, it's done some comparisons, and I haven't gone through all the numbers because at this stage I don't really care about the details. I don't care about whether it's getting all the numbers right, whether it's doing the analysis properly. What I really care about is more the process. Like, is it working right now? Really, like, is it actually able to find the properties, look through the images, and then switch to looking through sold properties in the similar area. And I'm kind of satisfied that it can do that. So we can move on to the next stage where we'll develop that into a plugin. So I'm going to ask Claude. We're going to carry on from the chat that we created yesterday, really, just to keep all the context in there. So I think right now, to begin with, I'm going to go into switch to Sonnet, and I'm just going to have a bit of conversation in order to figure out exactly how this plugin should work and so on, really. So yeah, let's type it out. So I think I'm not gonna tell it I want a plugin. I'm gonna ask it that I want a product that would do the same as what you did. Give me some recommendations and ask me any questions as needed. So remember, it's a good practice to ask the AI to ask you questions. So that's what we're doing now. So yeah, we'll just wait for that to respond. still seems to be doing some more thinking, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. So obviously, to start off saying the suggested model is fine, it's something else we also put into the Claude MD file in order to assess the model before you respond. Really, there's also one of the ways to know that your AI isn't. Also, let's kick the camera there. One of the ways to know that the AI isn't hallucinating is by it's when it kind of stops following your settings instructions in the Claude MD file. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So before I recommend a direction, it's worth naming what I do actually is, since the product could be replicated anywhere from a thin slice of all of it. So it does a retrieval of right move, photo AI assessment, deterministic financial engine, verdict report, pipeline tracking, blah blah. A single biggest constraint on anything, or a single biggest constraint on turning this into a real product is data access. So Rightmove has no public API, and its terms prohibit scraping. So what made today's session possible is that the human, while Claude driving the actual browser, was browsing one link at a time. That's fine, the place we used it, but it's not something that scales into automated searches and monitoring without either staying manual or paying for a legitimate data provider, like property data and so on. Leaning on free government data land registry, which only covers sold prices, not live listings. Okay. The constraint changes the shape of the product a lot. So what do I want to do? So do I want this to be a personal tool for myself or something that can dish out to people? I think it'd be good to make it productized. So it'd be good to dish it out to other people. Me for small deals, me and maybe an assistant or business party using it needs basic shared access, but not fully multi-tenanted SaaS. Okay, I think that's probably what I want really. So something I can also potentially share with other people if it gets really good. Something I might sell to other investors. So real SaaS, much bigger, build accounts, building, legal, worth knowing since it changes the whole architecture. I think right now I'm going to, I'm just gonna go with just me, and then in another future phase we can build it out a bit more. So let's just try that. Sustains a code, just more polished. So keep chatting with the agent like today, but make your skills more robust. A standalone web app or dashboard, an open browser, paste link or browser dashboard, no chat needed, more familiar UI. I'm not sure if I don't think a standalone web app would work, to be honest, just because Rightmove doesn't let us do this. So let's try something different regardless. A web app for daily browsing or tracking, Claude available for the deep dive analysis on demand. With a standalone web app. Maybe if I play the details for first, that might be a good position to be in. How should get the property data going forward? So only one link at a time on your browser. Please save zero setup, never scales to an automated search for monitoring. I think it can scale. Pay for legitimate data API. But then maybe in the future that might be good to do. And free government data only. I'll go with first one. Yep, polished single deal analysis, add automated sourcing. It's a tool that searches for you against saved criteria instead of finding links. Let's go with single deal analysis for now. And then we can also build that up so that you can do multiple. Bake today's ad hoc comms and sort workflow into every deal report automated. I just on request. Analyzer report, nothing new added. I'm gonna go with number 1. Let's see what happens. I'm just looking at the context window. I think at some point, I mean, it's only at 32%, so it's not too bad actually, considering this is also from yesterday. So we might be fine for today. But at some point, I'll probably will have to compress what's happening. All right, while it's doing its thing, I think it's a good point to also set some limitations on what we can achieve right now, and then what we want the next phase to be. I think, especially when you're building out a software or building out any kind of product, you want to set some limited minimal criteria, and then you build towards that. Obviously, it has to be achievable, and then you figure it out. Obviously, once you achieve that, then you figure out, okay, what do you want to be the next thing and the next thing, so on. I think sometimes I feel like we can kind of imagine the end product and get too excited, which is also a good thing. You can kind of get excited and then build your way backwards, and then figure. Obviously, just I don't know. Let's say imagine a fully fledged product, and then remove all the extra features and so on, until it's just the bare bone. What can you have minimally? I think it's one of the good analysis for us is, let's say if you're making a donut, what's a minimum value product for a donut? You can have obviously multiple options. You can have like a glazed donut. You can have some sprinkles on top, some filling, and so on. But the minimum value product is just that fried dough kind of thing, really, essentially. And that's what we want to make right now. The fried dough that some people might have, but a lot of people won't. Okay, so yep, let's see what it's come back with. Your four answers point to a very specific buildable shape, but they can also create one real tension worth flagging. What you picked, synthesize a personal tool, no accountability and billing. Yeah, on that. A proper web app, dashboard, not chat. I still don't know if I want a web app or a dashboard. I'm not sure how that would help. And a data retrieval stays, paste a link, and it does the rest. No paid API, no box search. Perfect. So version 1 goal, there we go. Let's look at the version 1. Make a single deal analysis polished. Nothing new. Okay, sounds good. So how should the app... Oh, the alternative is a version 1 where you for code in chat like today, still do the retrieval and just paste and extract the text. Still on that. So how should the app retrieve this in today? Paste assisted recommended. So you Claude fetch a listing yesterday and paste the results onto your form or app calculate dashboard, fully automated from day one. Yep, write a short implementation plan. Okay. I think what it's doing first is writing a implementation plan first. So once that's done, hopefully it'll stop, and then I can change the fable and let it execute. Although I might have done the opposite way actually, but that's fine. Okay, nice. Nope, it's still carrying on. It's one of the things about using AI and stuff, really, especially if you're building something big. It stops every now and then. It takes a bit of time in order to you spend a lot of time just waiting around for it to figure things out. To be honest, it's been running for 10 minutes. I guess that's how long I've been using it today. 2.6 tokens. Interesting. Yeah, it's still building a plan. It's using the implementation plan skill I made yesterday in order to build this right now, which is interesting. It's taking sweet time, isn't it? I might try the opposite approach today. So yesterday, what I did was, obviously, I used Fable in order to create the plan, and then switch to Sonnet in order to implement it. I might try the opposite approach of using obviously Sonnet to create the plan and then using Fable to implement it, just to kind of show what the effects are really. Even from yesterday, so if you look at the token size and stuff, it's like you only reached like 7% so far using Sonnet. For Fable, it probably would have been higher. It's really taking some time to do this. I think it might also be because obviously I'm giving it a fairly complicated thing, really. Okay, good. Everyone is declared. Nice. Lean, fast API, SQLite, server, rendered web app, no heavily front end, no job queue. Fair enough. Um, so three things to flag as you open questions rather than decide to use. So ongoing API calls. This is a big one. So today's analysis ran inside your existing Cloud Chat, a standalone app running the agent SDK to drive a browser and access 19 photos per deal conversion. I don't know if I remember it, but it's worth getting a real estimate before committing a volume. Okay. I like the fact that it kind of outlines risk assessment. It's really good. Hosting, so the background jobs needs a persistent server. You're on always on machine, free, but jobs fail when it's off, or a small VPS. I mean, okay, that's fine. That's for stuff for the future. And unattended reliability today when the get page text returns only a footer. I know it says switch to screenshots live. Job no redirected mid run. Okay. Means it might need a bit more bug fixing in the future potentially. Fair enough. Nothing has been built yet. Given the cost question in particular, it's worth deciding on that before phase two, the agent. Happy to help you get a rough cost estimate before we. I want to say that no, it's fine. No, that's fine. Um, does when asking questions, does the web app still rely on the code plugin? I mean, you did mention an agent SDK. So an SDK is a software development kit. That might mean that maybe with Claude there might be some open source stuff, or maybe they might provide some tools that allows you to use the extension. So I mean, if the capability is already there, it might be good just use that potentially. Now it's worth clarifying because I glossed over the plan. Let me explain. Okay, so today you use the Claude in Chrome browser extension. It drives your actual install Chrome, the specific chat session. It only works because you have an extension installed and there's an interactive session. The web app can't use that. A backend server, especially one on VPS, possibly with no display tool, has no access to Chrome. Okay. That connection is inherently tied to interactive sessions on the machine, so the agent job will need its own independent browser automation. Interesting, like something like a headless browser, Playwright that Claude controls via screenshots. Entirely server side, unrelated to any browser you have installed. Okay. Sounds like it's going to install a browser, a headless browser from the background, really. Um, okay. Difference, not technicality for two reasons. It's a separate process alive on server, not reused. Weakens the tier safety argument. So today's approach was defensible, partly because framed as you browsing your own session. A server spinning up its own headless browser open right intended repeatedly looks a lot more like an automated scraping than prohibit. I mean, it's only for testing, not for purpose of it isn't too bad, really. I think it's fine to do. So short answer, no. WebAds needs its own independent browser. That's fine. We'll changed. Okay. We'll change to Fable and ask it. Um, do more analysis on the solution and see if there is a better way for me to honestly use right move to find and analyze properties. So right now, I think what I want the AI to do is, I still wanted to kind of go through the analysis phase and then just figure this out properly. Really, I think I want to avoid making things and then remaking them, and then save any future work as much as possible. It's best to do it this way, um, especially if I'm packaging this up and then I can provide it for say anyone who's watching this. Then yeah, it needs to be really close to what I had in mind in terms of even as an MVP, it still needs some kind of automated thing. So research current landscape legitimate options for autonomous. Okay, I feel like a browser plugin, creating a browser plugin is an option, and I kind of want Claude to consider this on its own rather than me kind of mentioning to it. So that's kind of also where I'm going with this. Really, I feel like I want to know if Claude, if it can come up with a solution on its own rather than me just mentioning things. I just want to understand the way you're thinking, really. Because I feel like, let's say if I do mention the browser extension that we can make to control the browser, I've got a feeling that um, yeah, it might just be agreeing with me. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it might just be like it might just start like agreeing with me saying that it's the best idea in the world. I might also put something in the Claude and D in order to be a bit more critical with my ideas and give them feedback. But I feel like Claude naturally does it anyways. Unlike ChatGPT and Gemini, it doesn't disagree with me. I think it naturally does it. So I think we should be fine with that. Still taking his time. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I think I do also wonder right now, like if I'm doing this at a time when maybe the token users might be a bit high or maybe it might be a bit more expensive because a lot of them might be getting on it at this time. So I think in the future I might need to figure out what's the best time to use Claude. So maybe I might go live during that time. Okay, nice. Come back to us. So, okay, so materially better architecture and makes headless browser design mostly obsolete. Okay, so the insight, your pipeline has 3 stages, and only one needs to look at right move page. That is true. The current plan, actually, okay, I mean, yeah, depends on the stage. The current plan runs the expensive fragile browser vision agent on every deal instead. So instead, do this. So tier one, discovery. It's a free, cheap, fully autonomous. So 2 clean channels, Rightmove Zone, saved search, email alerts. Okay, that is a possibility actually. If you define oh, that's not a bad shout actually. I haven't, you know what? I haven't thought of that, and I'm glad I didn't give it any suggestions earlier. So search email alerts and the push to listings in your inbox voluntarily. So it's unambiguously TOS clean, and your Gmail is already connected to cloud, so a scheduled session can pass. You know, that's not a bad chat. I might actually consider that. I might say you can set up Rightmove in a way that put a criterion and then sends you the properties. Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah, but what would it do afterwards? And then put that into queue. And property data source or market endpoint, which does critical criteria-based discovery of live listings. Interesting. Okay. So that's tier one. Tier two, screening, fully autonomous. Files to be property. This is real fines. The property data is API from £20 a month. Okay. Returns rental comparisons, asking price and sold prices, and valuations and structured JSONs. Each discovered candidate. Interesting. Okay, but that's a so tier two is a paid tool. I think right now I don't want to go look into that, but I feel like that would be a bit of a more robust tool, really. Yeah, it's also rental estimate gap as well. Fair enough. Okay, tier three deep dives are semi-attached, only for survivors. Okay, photos and conditions assessment stay with the existing Chrome extension skill on your browser, but now only for a handful of deals per week that pass screening instead of everything. Okay. That keeps strong you browsing. Oh, okay. So I think what it means is that there may be once a week you run the browsing session, go through that for you. Things you still need a code control plan in order to action that. I'm gonna try to push it to find another solution. White mints have a part to design cost violation, so 50p to £2 per deal. 5% of deals. The unattended browser reliability risk in the week to his position. Fair enough. More to verify for committing. Property data has 500 free trials, so this costs nothing. Data freshness and instant alerts. Actually, I probably would rely on property data, but I don't think it's something I want to do right now. Yeah, there is a done free alternative like DealMine, Property Filter, Property Engine. If you rather subscribe than build, I think I'd rather build right now. Okay. All right, now I want to give some suggestions. So, what if I build a plugin that can look through web pages. I'll see if that would help. This is something I was going to try and avoid. I wanted to, give it sense. And to be fair, like the tier one suggestion, it is a good one. Um, that does mean setting up email alerts. And even after you set up the email alert, I'm not sure how it would work. Because obviously it still needs proper data's kind of endpoints in order to make it work. So, but for that deal, tier one would still be costly. There we go. Going to comics is actually a missing bridge. The whole design is worth being precise about what it solves and what it doesn't, and where the line is. Let me give you an assessment. So, what a custom extension gets you that nothing else does, the web uh, plan's core problem was that a backend server can't reach your browser. The Claude Core extension only works inside the interactive chat session. An extension you build live in your Chrome permanently can talk to your backend over HTTP. Okay, nice. It creates a bridge and purposely built with no chat sessions needed and dramatically more efficient than how I did today. Amazing. So it sounds like my suggestion. Instead of AI agent taking screenshot and scrolling, a content script reads the listing data page, embeds the structured data using which is more robust than script and visual highlights. Amazing. And then grab the photo URLs. Only the photo assessment would then hit Claude's API pennies instead of. I think with that, NVIDIA has a free model that you can use. So I might potentially rely on that actually. Um, yeah, so for photo analysis, we still need some kind of AI thing. That's fine. It's how the extension triggered. So assisted mode, you browse, it captures, you browse to right move exactly what you do now. Extension adds analysis button on every listing. Oh, nice. Or auto captures page per view, one click data for yours backend. Version assessment, vertical appears as an overlay on dashboard. I wonder, if you can add overlays, I wonder if you can do a thing where it does the analysis for you on every writing page. Or would that take too long? It might probably would take quite long. The same pattern has run publicly for years. To be fair, there are existing plugins right now that gives you like a price history. And he was doing the browsing. The tool reads what's already rendered in your browser. Nice. Chronos mode, so the extension drives itself. Chrome extension can open tabs, walk search results, and visit on schedule while Chrome is running. Technically feasible, but now it's automated access again. Just wearing your cookies instead of your servers. Same TOS problem as a headless browser, plus a bot detection risk against your IP. Okay. That's also something we don't want. But it doesn't solve discovery. In a system, you still find the listing. Spix engine doesn't replace the 300. Okay, upgrades it. Nice. Screening. Okay, the last point is worth underlining. The extension quietly removes the hosting question since it capture path run entirely locally. Perfect. Okay. To summarize the verdict, on your idea, build it, but it's an analyze while I browse capture feature. That's fine. So maybe what you can do is, I don't know, overnight you can probably just open up Rightmove with the search criteria, and then it'll probably just do it. Yeah, do that for you. Nice. Yep, you know, chat session, cuts deal. Keeps everything running in the machine, standalone, nice. So the full recommendation stack is right move alerts, proper data for discovery. So as long as it doesn't open up tabs, I feel like it's fine. Really. So what if I open up right move with the list of properties on my search criteria and then let the plugin take over? Only photo assessment hits the API. I feel like obviously because we need some kind of AI in order to do some assessment, it sounds like yeah, if you want to assess, if you want to go through photos, that's going to hit that's going to cause an issue. But yeah, I'm going to try and implement the NVIDIA one and then see what that takes me. Ideally, it would be nice to have some kind of local model, which is also something I think in the future I probably will look into, but not right now. Maybe we'll get some kind of device in order to do it potentially. It's very by design with one precise line. Withdrawing the plugin should capture the page you open, not open pages for you. Okay. Why decision matters is that the search result you land on already contains the structured data for every result. Okay. Yeah, regarding the screening, what if the plugin also controls my browser like the Chrome extension does? I think right now I haven't found the best, I guess, answer for this yet, so I'm trying to pronounce the straight answer first. Yes, it can. Technically, there's nothing special about the Claude extension, Claude and Chrome. It's just a Chrome extension with some public APIs available to anyone. Chrome tabs to open, switch pages. Okay, fair enough. Click type. Your plugin could do everything mine does, including writing wiring the Claude's API and its maker. Okay, nice. But here's the thing: your question is it's worth getting precise because it explains why today's session was fine, where the line actually sits. So I feel like it's trying to argue with me that what we're doing might not be strictly fine. This variable because it never was never the variable was never the extension driving the browser, is whether a human is directing it. Today was defensible because you asked for one specific listing and I retrieved it while you watched. If plugin does the same, you click analyze this one, navigates the page you're listing on is fine. So roughly 3 clicks of convenience per search session and exchange. You take on the TOS exposure with your own logged in account and your home IP. Recommendation stands unmoved by the 3 rounds of what if we automate more. Capture stays, control stays out. When I ask you to give me brief answers, just because I don't want to sit here reading an essay. Reading brief activities. Alerts and API for discovery. Okay. And then property data plus I don't want to use data. Right now, let's have an extension that analyzes properties on a right move page. Numbers first, extract file, facts, one. Okay, so what I've done now is I've kind of or Claude when it's creating an extension in order to do a full photo analysis of each of the properties. So essentially go through all the properties on the list, do a full in-depth analysis on it, and then list it as maybe some kind of I don't know, maybe a button or something on the screen, which I think could be really good. Okay. Search versus page only. Sounds good. It's been like 45 minutes and we still haven't built anything. I think, I don't know, this kind of points out really. I mean, firstly, obviously it can be quite slow building with AI. Obviously, it's nothing compared to, real, software development. But it's still a lot of talking back and forth and then waiting around for it to just be done with thinking, essentially, really. But yeah, it's been 45 minutes. We still haven't built anything. Yeah, also, by the way, as I mentioned before, there's a link in the chat where you can click in and then you can download. Well, actually, yeah, you can click in and then it'll send the files that are created as part of this exercise to your email. Still figuring things out. Okay. Oh, I think it's all the cleaning up at the moment. That's really good. Cleaning up everything. Obviously, all the tests and stuff we did yesterday. Okay. It's starting to control the browser for some reason. Okay, it's okay. It's checking the structure of the right news a bit. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. That's fine. Can do that. Looks like it's done. I think it's still creating an implementation plan. I believe that's what it's still doing. So obviously, we kind of changed, you know, the requirement from either looking at your emails or looking at things in order to like to this really. So yeah, nice. Ooh, allow other apps to. No, I don't want me to access things. It's a lot of waiting around. Oh, it's done controlling my browser again. Should we look at our limit for today? So yesterday, we did end up breaching the limit, but today we're at 66%. Not too bad. Honestly, I think obviously using up all the tokens under an hour was insane. I feel like I should have some background music potentially. I might consider this in the future. Maybe some kind of animated music or something. Okay, it's running the task. So to try, it's built into pieces. Okay, so it's been the extension which adds a panel to every car or on right move page. Rent box, fair enough. Uh, okay, and then a local server reuses the existing deal calc script that we made yesterday, and then it logs every analysis, and then um, I think it just does it logs every analysis to the spreadsheet, and then runs a photo assessment. Fair enough. Okay, so the server returns card numbers, matches the Sunnydale analysis exactly. Nice. Try 2 minute step. Okay, Python analyze now, and then Chrome extension development mode. Back. Oh, it looks like we might be able to do this. Okay, so it's running something right now. Restart analysis server on PD. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what it's doing right now. I think it looks like it's running the server, but I think the extension might be ready potentially. Um, let's see. That's very quick. My apologies. Oh, big sneeze. Still running a task. Those steps for me, or are you doing this? Still unsure what's going on. Developer mode, load unpacked, and then select the extension folder. So okay. Okay, I think it's done it. So it looks like it's added the extension to my browser. So now it's saying if I go to right move and then open something, it's going to add a button. Oh, there we go. Analyze. Incredible. So enough. 900. Interesting. It added the extension liquid. And the rest, I don't know how the event would be. Okay. Done. Check and debug. So it's created the extension. It's added an overlay on top of right move. And now I think I want to do some analysis. So it's going to control my browser, go through the extension, and then try to figure out what's going on. Really, I think my usage is also near the limit, so I need to be careful. I think it's going to run out after this. I think when it runs out, I'll probably end the live stream. But let's see how that goes. I think Cloud Desktop does take up a lot of tokens, so I think I need to figure out how to not have a use of so many tokens while it's using Cloud Desktop. But that is a future problem. Okay, it's done something. 24. So that means verify the new heuristic on the live page before asking it to reload. Okay. Test on quickness on my side. The actual results are all good. Every one of 25 properties now resolves. It's a full width card root. It doesn't look nice at all, so I don't think it's that great. Your turn, 30 seconds, Chrome extension, hit the reload button, analyze a refresh state. Ah, nice. Reloaded. Refresh the page. Oh, nice. Okay. It added below it. I like it. It's better. Injection analysis verdict. Okay, saying okay, reject. Okay, I can't do photo AI right now. Could ask it potentially. Maybe use the one. I think okay, that might be something for tomorrow. So okay, so let's summarize what have we done so far. So today, obviously from yesterday, we used Claude's desktop extension in order to go through the browser, look at some properties, look at some pictures, and do some analysis. And now what I've done is I've created my own extension, obviously using Claude, that kind of looks through the data on the page and then does an analysis. I think next steps is to hook it to some kind of AI that would be quite low cost, and then get it to do an analysis really. So yeah, that's next step. Let's do that. Okay, sounds good. Okay, everyone. I hope you all enjoy the session, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Just a little thing really. So obviously, if you want the files and everything I've created in the session, and any of the future sessions related to this project, I can send it to you via email. Just click on the link in the description. All right. Thanks all. Bye.